November is Native American Heritage Month. There are some new protections in place for tribes in the state of Illinois.
It's thanks to the Human Remains Protection Act. It requires human remains to be returned to their tribes. News 10's Caitlin Hunt joins us in the studio with more.
Patrice Rondrell, that law has been in place for the last 3 months. And in that time, the Illinois State Museum has been working to reunite over 1,000 remains with tribes across the country. And it's an act that one museum director says is emotional. Thanks to Illinois' Human Remains Protection Act, thousands of remains are going home to their tribes. The act requires any human remains or tribal objects to be returned to tribes. And the return of these objects are often initiated by the Illinois State Museum. Heather Miller is the museum's Tribal Relations and Historic Preservation Director. She's the one connecting tribes with their ancestors.
And I can make sure that those tribal nations are telling their stories in terms of providing direction for how we rebury those folks.
Miller says this law finally allows these ancestors to be at rest with their people. So far, over 1,000 remains have been reunited with 10 tribes across the country. But the journey to get there can be hard. As a member of the Wyandot Nation, Miller brings a Native perspective to the process too. And that can sometimes add another emotional layer.
Not only is it incredibly amazing and heartfelt, it's also incredibly hard and sad and frustrating at times to realize, like, oh dang, we're in this situation.
According to the National Parks Registry, Illinois is the nation's 5th largest repository of human remains, and many of those remains end up passing through the state museum. And Miller says this new law gives the museum a chance to reinforce its respect for human remains. But it also gives respect to the culture and history of Native Americans, something Miller says is a long time coming.
Our Native communities are getting the recognition and the power and the respect that they deserve in these processes that, you know, we may not think affect them, but 100% affect them every single day.
And Miller says this law will also allow the state to establish its own burial grounds, and these will be for tribes who wish to keep their ancestors in their place of birth. Patrice Rondrell, back to you.